So we're how many months in right now into this campaign cycle?
Just over 3 months.
Just over 3 months. And how's it been so far?
Oddly, it's been fun.
It's been fun.
It really has been fun. It's been challenging,
Right.
tiring.
Right.
But yes, overall, it's been fun. I genuinely enjoy meeting people, and I've met so many people. This is a big place.
It gets to you. It gives you a reason to get out in the public, and you're probably like knocking on some doors.
Absolutely.
Showing up at events, doing all that kind of stuff. So is it equally as exhausting and tiring as it is fun?
No, it's probably more fun. When I go to events, I do try to be careful to not be there politicking.
Right.
Because I've been going to a lot of these events even before I ran.
Right. Right.
And they don't really want people there politicking. But no, going and knocking on doors has been a lot of fun. I'll usually drag at least one of my kids with me. And at one time, we had someone slam a door in our face, and they got a big kick out of that.
Well, yeah.
But and that was in that gentleman's defense. His wife and grown daughter did run out before we could even get to the street and apologized.
Right.
And we talked to them for about 5 minutes.
Gotcha. So maybe it was just one of those, maybe it wasn't directed at you. Maybe it was just somebody having a bad day.
Yeah, maybe it was me. I don't know.
It could have been you.
I mean, you're very kind. It easily could have been me.
You have this, I want to talk about this. You've got this, a really interesting style. It's something you're no, in a good way. Let me explain. You're wearing Vans today. You're wearing Vans. Where do you get this this style from? That is it just like raw bravery? Because like I'd be so afraid that I couldn't pull that off, but you pull it off real well. So where do you get that from?
Well, maybe I'm not pulling it off, and I'm now learning this. I don't know. I really just enjoy. Well, this is very true. The way that I have been consuming calories over the last 18 months, I am now down to what fits. The Vans do still fit, not a problem. Right. But I just enjoy wearing what I wear, and I sort of gauge it on the level of or the amount that my children sort of will allow me to get away with or make fun of. But I just love wearing Vans. I really do.
They are awesome.
They're great.
And I'm not going to try and guess your specific age, but you probably grew up much like I did at a time period when, hey, those were the thing. We wore those.
Oh, yeah. These are
super popular.
These are most certainly not my first set of Vans.
We're talking Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes, absolutely.
That was a thing, and they were super popular, and I love it now. I've got an 11-year-old. You've got some kids, so they probably, all these things come around. They come back around. Yes. And so every time I see something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wore those. Oh. Sometimes, though, you have to be careful, because if I see something that they're, in style now, whatever it is, if Dad says that I did that, then all of a sudden, maybe that's not as cool then. Yes. If Dad did that. Do you ever run into that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I can't think of a specific example, but if I, if they, like, one of them started wearing a Swatch watch.
Right.
Oh, right. I'd be all in on that. They might not be with the guard.
Maybe we need to bring that back.
That'd
Swatch
be great.
watch.
Yes.
That was a big deal.
And the guards
that
you would get.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the first, most interesting marketing efforts I ever saw, where you could like interchange all of these, change the bands. You could get the guards. You could do, and neon was like all the rage, and they were amazing. It was super, super cool. I could totally see that coming back now, but you're pulling off the Vans. The Vans are awesome. What's really unique about these is that might be UT Austin orange, or that could be Celina orange.
Yes, it's probably more burnt orange than Celina, or dirt.
or dirt.
Or maybe,
dirt,
yes.
I gotcha.
But yes, they're multi-purpose Vans.
Right.
Yes.
And in this town, that's something really unique and interesting about Celina is we love our orange.
Indeed.
We really, really do. And I can't honestly say that years ago, I loved orange as much as I do now, but I truly love orange now. So how do you feel about that?
Oh, I love it.
Has it been a lifelong thing? Orange has been great for me all my life, or are you like, no, you know what? I love orange because of Celina.
I think I've always enjoyed the color orange. Nothing against it.
You didn't know when you came on today that we were going to talk about.
No, but I'm here for it. But the Celina orange is very specific.
It is.
And I don't know if I hadn't lived here. I don't know if I'd have a closet full of clothing, non-Celina clothing that happened to be that orange.
Right.
But no, I have a lot of Celina orange in there now too, but I'll mix in the gray every once in a while, the white t-shirt with the Celina orange.
There you go.
It's typically just whatever color this year's quarterback club or polo shirt is.
That's it.
It's sometimes gray camo, sometimes bright orange.
Right.
But I enjoy it.
And you probably, like most of us, you probably have quite a bit of Celina clothing.
Yes.
You've got, you acquire that year over year over year. But it's really cool because you can be somewhere like down in Frisco at the mall or something like that. You see a Celina, you just feel a connection.
Absolutely.
Like, Celina. There.
I see more and more than I did when I first moved here, but
That's
absolutely.
Right. So let's talk about that. How long have you been in Celina?
So my wife and I first moved here in 2009. And then we lived here for a bit, and it made more sense to live back in Dallas for a bit. And then where we live now, we bought back in 2012. And then we moved in 2013. 12 years, give or take.
Right.
Maybe 13 or so combined between the two.
It's been a minute.
It has.
So a lot of people are moving here. That's one of the challenges that we face right now.
Certainly.
And, you're obviously running for office. So you hear this an awful lot. So I'm not saying anything new to you when I say, gosh, this is one of our big challenges. How do we have all of this growth? How do we have so many people moving here? Because everyone loves it. Everybody wants to be here. That's why we are where we are. And yet not just sell out our small town feel, for lack of a better term. So let's get straight into that. How do we take care of all of this growth and hold on to that?
Well, that is the big challenge because the growth is already here. It's coming. And in my opinion, the whole challenge is maintaining the small town feel while embracing the growth that's going to be here. And I think it starts with simply listening and making certain that the people who are here now play a role in keeping it the place that we all fell in love with in the first place. There's something that happened to each and every one of us when we decided to move here. And whether it was you fell in love with the square, it was people that you met, you were just driving around. At our core, we must maintain that so that the city itself stays the way that the city that we fell in love with. And that's the real challenge in doing that. And the way to do it is to be thoughtful, to plan, to listen to the citizens. When you're making decisions, to be able to negotiate and listen to those around you, whether it's listening to another council person, listening to a developer, most importantly, listening to a resident, and taking ideas from them. We're all on the same page that we want to maintain the small town feel, but it just doesn't happen. You have to be intentional about it, I think at its core, it just starts with listening. I don't have all of the answers. Nobody on that council has all of the answers. That's why we're just one small, tiny fraction of the entire city. Together, we can come up with the answers.
I like it. And obviously, I have some knowledge of things that you've done. You've been on the podcast before, as a matter of fact. So I've heard some of your story. I've been in your, for people who don't know, you're an attorney.
Yes.
And I've been in your law office over here. And so, whatever has happened in the city, something motivated you to decide to run right now. What is that? What kind of magic happened to make you want to run for office?
Well, at its core, it's a love for the city. I've been going to council meetings for years. I really know how to party.
So you just spend your time down there?
I really do. And
first at the door?
Because I can walk. I do have a Tuesday night routine where I will go to Papagayo's. Right. It's Taco Tuesday.
Right.
I really do think it's one of the more amazing deals that we have.
Really?
3 crispy beef tacos, $6.99, rice and beans, and on your way.
So hold on. If I ask for a sidebar right now to talk about that, would you grant a sidebar?
Sure.
Okay, sidebar, Your Honor. Tell me about this. I need a little discovery right now about this. So tell me again, how many tacos?
Papagayos has a special every day. On Tuesdays, it's Taco Tuesday. You can get 2 tacos, rice and beans, and really any way you like. Right. Crispy beef, chicken, for $5.99.
Making me so hungry.
$5.99. If you're like me and you're eating your way through the world, for an extra $1, you can get a third taco for $6.99.
Extra $1.
So I'll hit that place at 5. I'll close things up at my office, head to see who wants to meet me over there, eat some tacos, and then walk on down.
That's awesome. I like it. Great routine.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Yes. If I could get Hey Sugar to stay open until after the meeting was over, I'd hit that on the way home.
It'd be perfect. Now, you're not grabbing a margarita and walking over with that.
No.
But we are allowed now.
We are. Yeah. I see people walking up and down. It's great. Right. Yeah. No, I don't do that.
Okay.
But no, I have a love for the city. My wife and I had talked about me making a run for this seat. It was as far back as a couple of years ago. Candidly, I saw a shift in meetings starting, year and a half-ish ago, where I would see physical surprise on the face of some council members when decisions were made and votes were taken. And to me, that really struck me. And it exposed to me, and it's my opinion, and I'm not on council, but the decisions were being made without not only the full discussion of the council, but for the full discussion in front of the city. In and of itself, a 4-2 vote on an item is fine. But when it truly surprises a couple of council members, that doesn't feel right. Arguably, it's unlawful to have discussions in the dark. And I'm sort of here with a flashlight. So we may not agree on everything. I'm certainly not going to agree with every council member on every item. I'm not going to agree with every resident on every item. Frankly, it would be really strange if we did agree on everything, or disingenuous at best. But I can assure that with any negotiation or any discussion that I'm involved in, I will go into it with an open mind. It feels like there have been decisions that were made without any discussion, or if it was any type of a discussion, it was not in good faith. And so I'm going into every single negotiation, whether it's work-related, at my house with my children, or on the council, you have to go into it with the idea that you actually might move off of your position. You can't just dig in on a position because it was someone else's idea and you're just going to go against it. And so those are just a couple of examples of why. But I love the city, and we're at a critical point now where I do just simply believe we need people who are good listeners, who are thoughtful, who understand how to negotiate, and win or lose a discussion, you make the right decision for the people. And then you move on and you go to the next one.
Do you feel like you can honestly adhere to that and hold on to that? I used to, and I'm just going to give you an example so that you kind of understand where I'm coming from, but in law enforcement, you come out of the academy, you're going to save the world, and you're always going to be, you're going to be upstanding, you're going to choose your language well, you're going to do all of these things. And it takes a few days on the job, especially depending on what parts of town you work in, to start to kind of change that, and you kind of start to understand why some of the people are the way they are. And I wouldn't want someone to come in and say, I'm going to be open-minded. I'm going to be, of the mindset that my position can change. If you have an argument that is worthy of me changing, you're saying those things now. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying you're coming in and you sound very independently minded, and essentially like you're going to do what's right for the city. So you can say right now, and I kind of want to get a promise from you that you'll honor that with everything you have, should you be elected, all the way through your term, and that you won't ever sell out to any particular group or become agenda driven in any way, because I think this city is over that.
Absolutely. That's why I'm running. Yes, I can absolutely tell you I am an independent thinker, in spite of the fact that, and this is just general politics, people get aligned with certain people. And I'm going to be aligned with every single person on that council on some issue, and I'm going to be out of alignment on others. But absolutely, every single decision that I make will be one with the input of the citizens, and then they're trusting me with the vote to make the decision that is the best decision for the citizens, looking at all of the details. There's always an extreme on every position, but in just about everything, the details are what matter, the facts in the middle. And so absolutely, I don't even think twice about making that type of commitment.